Welcome everybody. So this is my talk on report ranges. Now, as I mentioned in my introduction video, data can be one of two types. It can be continuous or it can be categorical. And if we are actually grouping by categorical data, it's great, no problem at all. But certain types of data like date time data, height, temperature, money, for instance, it can be quite difficult to get any business value if we group by those values. Let's have a look at an example here. So, for instance, if I was to write a report and then group by HR service, that would make a lot of business sense. If I wanted to group by this, the assignment group, that would make a lot of sense. If I was to group by the state, that would make a lot of sense to do so. But if we're looking at the duration of our cases, then all of a sudden you've got things like 1 second here, 2 seconds, 4 seconds. And if I was to group by that, does our business owner, our service manager, whoever, do they really want to know how many HR cases took 1 second, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, etc.? You notice that this goes, here we are, 13, 14, 18 minutes. And then there's a big jump to 12 days, 20 hours and 44 minutes, 13 days, 20 hours, 44 minutes, etc. In fact, in the real world, it's actually be quite rare for you to actually have two HR cases that had exactly the same duration. Okay? So, and so if they were wanting to write a report and say, well, I want to group that by duration, that really would come out looking quite badly. In fact, if we were to use, say, a bar graph on that, I would expect, even with the limited data that we have here, I'm guessing that there'd probably be around about 150 bars on that graph. And when we looked at that bar graph and we clicked on each bar, it really, so okay, so these are the ones that took 21 minutes, and these are the ones that took 7 seconds. And these are the ones, maybe one or two of them, that took 16 days, 20 hours or whatever. And so it's sort of a bit off-putting, really, when you start grouping by this continual type data. And as I mentioned before, date time is definitely one of those data types that can be a problem for that as well. So what can we do about that? Well, it turns out that there's actually quite a lot we can do. So I'm going to go down to what's called report ranges. Okay. Now I've already created a couple here for the HR core case table. Okay. And I'll go in and show you what they look like in a wee minute. But you can see here that it's watching this table here. It's looking at that element, which is another name for a field value. Okay, that's the actual name of the field value there. Then it's got this label here, and it says HR case duration less than 1 day, 1 to 5 days, over 5 days, and then it's got an order. And it's got an upper value duration here, and that's what I'm going to explain. Okay. So when we go into this one here, which is the lowest one, by the way, it's got the lowest order number. You'll notice it's watching, well, now it's the label called duration for that particular table there. And then you'll notice that we've got basically an upper value int. This would be used if you're talking about temperature, height, money, that sort of stuff. And then there's an upper value duration for basically date time. Okay, you use one or the other. Okay, now what's actually happened here is that the whole purpose of this tool set is the following. It should be seamless to the person running the report. And what basically happens now is that our system is watching over that table there, the core case table, and it's looking to see if anything is extracting the data from that table and grouping it by that element name there, calendar_duration. And if it does, you can think of it as being this way. It will take all that data and put it into 3 ranges. Now, I know there's no lower value duration, but here's the way it works, okay? If it has got the lowest order number here, then the system assumes you're meaning all of the data with the value between 0 and the upper value duration, 1 day. Once it's grabbed all that data, it will then go to the next highest value, in this case 200, and it will take it from everything from 1 day, which is the upper value duration for the first report range, up to 5 days, 1 to 5 days. Okay, and then just to make life easy for this demonstration, I've only created 3 ranges, and the last one will be up to, I don't know, what's that, 1 million days or something. I just want to make sure that I capture all data between 0 and whatever the maximum number is. So I just usually put a ridiculously large number inside there, just to make sure that we're capturing everything from 0 to the top value that could possibly be. And of course that value is 300. It can be any numbers you like, by the way, as long as that's the lowest, next lowest, and then the highest. You can have more than 3. You can have a whole bunch available here. In fact, if we go back and have a look at them, there are in fact some baseline ones. This one here, 23 hours and 59 minutes. Notice that they've actually used the 59 minutes thing here. I cheated a little bit. I just put 0 to 1 day, 1 to 5, and then 5 plus, okay? But if you want to be really precise, then you will look at the value of the data that's inside those fields, and because it's counted in in minutes, then that will be your same day will be 23 hours and 59 minutes, not 24 hours. Yeah, and then it increments 1, and then it does, and so forth, so forth, and so forth. All right, there's a few other inbuilt ones as well, but there's not many. You can create them like I just did before I did this demonstration, and sometimes developers will put these for you inside their applications as well. Okay, so let's now see how we use this. So based on our report range here, it's going to be watching over the HR core case table in this case, and as long as we group by, now as you can see here, of course, here it shows you the label. So in the reporting visualization tool, it will give us the label as well. So that's going to be duration. As long as we do that, then the report range will kick in automatically. Let's have a look. So we'll go to platform analytics. We'll go down to data visualization. I'm going to go to new. Now I'm not going to add a data source here because we talked about those earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go straight down, and I'm just going to point it straight to the table that I want to do my report. I could have used data sources as well. It would have made no difference. Okay, no difference at all. Now at that particular stage, oh no, I don't want to list simple actually. I want to visualize this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a vertical bar. There you go. Whoops, now I have to change that again. That's okay. That's all right. Here we go. Okie dokie, radio. Now of course I can add a data source to here. I'll just quickly go and add that table there. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Oh, this would have allowed me to apply predefined conditions as well. In other words, data sources. Pretty cool. Now, when we actually run this, now we're not quite there yet because we haven't grouped it by that field that the report range is based on. So I'll need to go down and I'll need to quickly change that. And if I remember rightly, it was the duration field. So there you go, duration. We will apply that. And hey, bingo. So here we go. Now, actually, I should have actually taken out that one there, actually. I could add a filter if I wanted to do that, definitely. Or probably inside my data source here, it might have been a good idea to add a custom condition here. So I might just say only where the duration is not empty. Okay, I could have created a predefined condition as well if I wanted to. The advantage of these, by the way, is if you saw my earlier one on data sources, is that they're defined for everybody then, you know? Yeah, and that's really a good thing. And here you go, you can see straight away that it's only created 2 bars, one for less than 1 day and one for over 5 days. And if we go and have a look at our raw data again, that's exactly what I showed you earlier. There's a whole bunch which are less than 1 day and all the rest are over 5 days. And if your report, right, there we are, we just click on the bar and now it shows us all of the data there. We can, of course, they of course might want to actually add the field there so they can actually see that data. This is neither here or there. There it is. I've dragged it across earlier to duration, and there you go. So it will, yeah. So there you go. So that's it. We have taken care of that continuous data scenario where we can actually now help our HR managers or whoever's service owners, whatever, who are saying, look, I just want an indicator of, give me a bar graph that basically shows, you know, the ratio between less than 1 day, 1 to 5 days, 5 to 10 days, 10 to 20 days, and 20 days plus. And this type of report that we just showed you, of course, is going to be the way to go on that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. It's a very simple tool, isn't it? But it's very useful.